Right, so it is the 8th today, the 8th of the 8th, 2024. For those of you that are into numerology, you'll realise that that is 888, a very powerful day for abundance manifestation. So make sure that you're writing out your goals, getting clear intentions, all these things. So I'm currently sat here in Venice, and I've been thinking about a lot lately. I've been thinking about, this is beautiful cappuccino, by the way. This is Florian, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Florian Caffe in Venice. If you're ever in Venice, definitely go and visit this. But I've been thinking a lot lately about what helps people be successful. And there are so many factors, so many things that I've learned over my years of entrepreneurship. I come from humble beginnings. I know what it's like to be in your position. It can be scary, it can be daunting, there can be a lot of self-doubt. It's like, am I really going to be successful? Am I really going to be the one to break the chain and actually make it happen? Am I going to be the first millionaire in my family? Lots of people have those thoughts. What I will say to you is a bit of advice. Number one, speed, right? So don't underestimate the power of speed. And what I mean by that is not be reckless. I don't mean not think and not plan. What I mean is, once you have enough information, once you've done enough planning, as soon as you have enough knowledge, act without delay. What you'll find is most people procrastinate because they have enough knowledge, they have enough of the plan, but they want to do a bit more planning, a bit more tweaking, and they fall into this procrastination. It is an illness. There is no perfect time to execute. There is no perfect time to succeed. There's going to be lots of curveballs. What you have to do is act in a way that's not going to be consequential, and then you will figure things out along the way. What you have to remember is, a lot of the times ideas don't come out fully formed, right? So you'll be under this impression that you need this perfect step-by-step, because that feeds into the security side of, oh, well, I feel safe. But you want to live a top 1% life, you have to remember you're going to be unbalanced a lot of the time. But speed is going to be your friend. But you've got to do it in a way that is controlled. So what do I mean by that? Imagine you had 100K and you want to invest in business. I'm not saying, right, take all of your savings and invest into an idea without planning. That's not what I mean. I mean, test the waters, start getting feedback so you can go, right, this didn't work, this did work. How can I make this relevant adjustment? How can I make this tweak? A lot of the times people are sitting on the sidelines procrastinating too long, and there are people that have worse plans than them, but they're succeeding with a similar idea just because they're executing, because they don't have all the ideas, but they're actually moving forward and giving themselves the opportunity to go, right, oh, that didn't work, let me just make this little tweak, this adjustment. They're moving forward while someone's still there jotting down their ideas, and they're still trying to go on with it, and they're still not in the position, and they've not taken any actual actionable steps. So what I'm explaining here is speed, right? The speed of just moving forward without fear. What's the worst that can happen? If you do it in a controlled way, you get such an advantage. You ever seen that clip of the lion where you got two lions? I believe it's the lioness and then you got the male lion. You got the lioness waiting there, and there's like a herd of buffalo going past and waiting, and then the male lion just jumps in and just destroys the buffalo. What can you learn from that? You might think, oh, well, that lion was waiting for the perfect time, and you think the other lion was just jumped in recklessly. No, the difference is, the lion has enough knowledge, he understands, right, I need to hunt, I need to get it, there's the herd of buffalo, I could get hurt, but there is a consequence of we might not eat if I don't go and hunt and execute. That's what I'm saying, there is no perfect time, and sometimes you're going to get hurt. But that lion understood that, just went straight in. Instincts, it's that killer instinct. You also need that killer instinct if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to be a trader, you want to be successful. You have to have that same exact thing. So don't be that individual that has enough knowledge, has enough information, but still delays. Speed is going to be your friend if you really want to be successful. One thing that people underestimate is their partner, your spouse, your family. You have to remember that when you're going to be successful, you're going to have people around you that either are going to support your dreams or they're not. It's as simple as that. Now, there is one caveat to that. Expectations. You can't be this individual that expects your family or everyone to be on board with your vision straight away and then take it personally as to why they're not. I find a lot of people do that. They put themselves in this position. It's like, why is everyone not supporting me at the level? It's not that. It's that people feel what they don't understand. So you can't expect or feel entitled to, they have to have the same enthusiasm, the same passion as you have for your goals. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes you have to be comfortable with, right, they're not always going to be fully on board, but that doesn't mean that they don't support you by default. It just means they don't understand it yet. So you have to be comfortable with things that are going to be difficult for a period of time, And then once you start to see some progress and results, you can say, look, this thing that I've been doing, here is what it is. This is the progress I've made. This is the position I'm in. And they're going to have more of understanding. So spend less time trying to convince them, spend less time trying to get people on board with it. I mean, communicate, be clear, but at the same time protect your energy so you can actually focus on the task at hand. And the best way to get people on board is to just start to see some results. You don't have to become a multimillionaire to go, look, now you can be on board. But you have to make some level of progress, even if it's small progress, so then you can explain with clear intention, this is what I'm doing, these are the steps I'm taking, and people will take you way more serious that way. I can promise you that. So getting people on board is difficult. Now, I understand there are going to be some of you that have family that really don't support you in the opposite way, to the point that, and I've experienced this with people, where they'll tell me, you know, I've got a mum or a dad that goes out of their way to almost not tear them down, but really peg them down a little bit. That one can be a little bit tricky. If you're in that situation, what I would say is keep your goals close, because you have to protect your energy. They may not be doing it from a point of view of that they want you to do badly. That's not what it is. It's normally an insecurity of the parent that they can't see themselves doing it. They've never been able to see them doing it. So they want to try and protect you because their belief system only goes so far. So you can't blame them for that. That is literally their upbringing. So what I would do is find a group of people that can support you. Keep your goals to yourself closely. This is why I love community, because the reality is most people will not have that support. And thinking that you're just going to be this lone wolf, do it all by yourself, is not really a reality. You need people in your corner that are going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. They're going to be there for you, not just to tell you when you're going wrong, but be there to celebrate your wins and be authentically happy for you when you're doing well. It's very difficult to find those individuals, and I believe we've cultivated that in the community. That's why I love what we do. This is one of one. In the Falcon community, from a trading perspective, there is nothing else like what we have. It just does not exist. You could not find it. And that's because we spent so much time cultivating the ethos of the community to go above and beyond and help each other out. That's the mentality that we have created for the past 7 years, and we won't tolerate anything less, because, listen, life is difficult. So you can't afford to waste any time not having people that are going to be fully behind you every step. Make sure that you've really spent the time to audit who you're around. The reason why they say things like, oh, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, there's a lot of wisdom and there's a lot of truth in that, because that is it. Who you spend time with, conversations that you have, that's going to be you. You become who you think about most of the time. And those thoughts are going to be directly correlated to what conversations you have. So of course, it is a logical conclusion to suggest that, well, if I'm going to spend a lot of time with these individuals and they think this way, this is their belief system, that's probably going to rub off on me. There's a reason why when people step into our community that have not had the mindset training, because I don't blame them, they wouldn't have that training, they become different people. People that they didn't even expect that they could become with our training, because we have a way of thinking. We've been tried and tested. We've realized these are the steps, this is the formula to reshape the way that you think. And then we see the change in people. We see timid, shy people become confident to the point they could speak on stage in front of 10,000 people if they wanted. How much is that worth to you to develop those traits of success?